Welcome to the deep dive.
You know, it's so frustrating, isn't it? Pouring all that time into creating great Instagram reels only to feel like they just disappear into the void.
Oh, absolutely. It feels like shouting into a really, really crowded room sometimes.
Totally. So today, we're going to try and crack the code on one key strategy to get those views up. Hashtags. And hey, while we're talking about getting seen online, if you're looking for a broader boost across your social media, rapidboost.net is a resource worth checking out.
Good point. So yeah, hashtags, how do you make your reel the one that actually stops people scrolling?
That's the mission for today. This whole session is a deep dive into mastering Instagram Reels hashtags. We want to, really amplify your views and engagement. We've cut through some, frankly, really interesting research on this, and the goal is simple. Give you, our listener, some solid, actionable tips so you can use hashtags way more effectively.
Right. Because hashtags, they seem basic, right?
Yeah.
But actually, they're a pretty sophisticated tool, especially with how the algorithm keeps changing. They really help you navigate things. Okay, let's start there then. Why do hashtags still matter so much? It often feels like this mysterious algorithm just does its own thing. Where do hashtags fit in?
Well, think of the algorithm like a super smart matchmaker. Its main job is connecting people with content they'll actually like and engage with.
Okay.
And to do that, it looks at all sorts of signals, how people interact, what their interests seem to be, and crucially, discoverability cues. Hashtags are a big one of those cues.
So they're not just decoration, they're actually feeding information into that matchmaking process.
Precisely. They're clear signals. They tell Instagram, hey, this reel is about this specific topic. So using them well helps the algorithm categorize your stuff and show it to people looking for exactly that, even if they don't follow you yet. It's about finding the right audience.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense than just trying to reach everyone everywhere. I definitely see people just stuffing captions with trending tags, even if they don't fit the video at all.
Yeah, that's kind of the old spray and pray method. Then you've got the other extreme people using only super, super niche tags. Right.
But what's interesting is that research from places like Later and Hootsuite suggests that a focused set, maybe around 7 to 11 really well-chosen hashtags, that often beats using the maximum 30, especially for reels. It's more about precision.
7 to 11. Wow, that feels surprisingly low. So how do you pick those magic? 7 to 11, what's the strategy? Well, the magic isn't really in the number itself, but in the mix. The best strategy seems to be blending different types. Some high-volume tags, the really popular ones.
Okay.
Some medium-level tags, and then some really specific niche hashtags. It's like a tiered approach to catch different kinds of viewers.
Tiered, okay, break that down. Can you give an example?
Sure. Let's say you post a reel about a quick vegan cookie recipe. A high-volume tag might just be hashtag baking, super broad.
Got it.
A medium one could be like hashtag vegan recipes, more specific. And then a niche tag could be something like hashtag easy vegan baking or hashtag dairy-free cookies, really targeted. Using all three means you hit the general bakers, the vegans, and the people looking for specifically easy dairy-free stuff.
Okay. I see how that works. And we saw that case study, right? The fitness coach who used that blended approach. And their views jumped from like 1,200 to over 7,000.
Yeah.
That's huge. Was that just the hashtags, do you think?
Well, it's always hard to pin it on just one thing, But it definitely shows how powerful a smart hashtag strategy can be, and there's data backing it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, a 2023 study from Social Insider found reels with at least 5 relevant hashtags got, on average, 28% more reach.
28%.
And even better, creators who were consistently researching and rotating their hashtags saw up to 53% more engagement on their best reels. So it's not just about getting seen initially, it's about signaling ongoing relevance.
Wow, okay. 53% more engagement is massive.
Right.
So this mix high, medium, niche is clearly vital.
Wow.
Let's dig into those high volume ones first. What are the pros and cons there, like
Yeah.
hashtag travel or hashtag food?
Right, those big ones. The pro is obvious. Huge numbers of people search and browse them, so you might get a quick burst of visibility right after posting.
An initial spike.
Exactly. But the con is just as big. So much content gets posted with those tags every second, your reel can get buried, like, instantly. It's super competitive.
So a flash in the pan maybe,
Bucket.
but not lasting visibility.
Pretty much. It's like dropping a pebble in the ocean. You might make a tiny splash, but it disappears fast. That's why the medium and niche tags are so important for building that more sustained discoverability.
Right. Okay. So medium tags like maybe hashtag FitMomTips or hashtag Budget Travel Hacks. Yeah. They're the middle ground.
Exactly. They still have a decent audience looking at them, but it's less saturated than the giant tags. Your reel has a better shot at sticking around on that hashtags page for a bit longer.
And the hyper niche ones. Still feels a bit weird to go so specific. But that wedding photographer example, tripling qualified leads, that's compelling.
It really is, because those hyper niche tags like hashtag I love vegan foodies or hashtag pet portraits NYC, they connect you with a laser focused audience. Maybe not millions of people, but the ones who are searching. They're usually really interested and much more likely to actually engage or, become a customer if that's the goal. The photographer wasn't aiming for just any views. They wanted the right views, potential clients. It's quality over quantity, definitely.
That really hits home. It's about connecting with the right people. Okay, shifting slightly. Are there hashtags we should just completely avoid, like danger zones?
Oh, absolutely. Using banned hashtags, or sometimes they're called shadow ban tags, is a big no-no. These are tags Instagram has restricted, maybe because of spam or misuse.
And they don't tell you.
Often, no notification. Using them can just kill your reel's visibility. So it's always smart to quickly search a tag on Instagram before you use it. Make sure there are recent normal posts showing up and no weird content warning.
Good tip. Crucial, actually. What about just hopping on a trend? Using a super popular hashtag, even if it's totally unrelated to your reel.
Yeah, that's tempting, isn't it? But the algorithm's gotten pretty smart about that. It might give you a tiny, fleeting boost, but if the tag isn't actually relevant, it can backfire.
How so?
Well, Instagram might see it as you trying to game the system, not providing real value. So it could actually penalize your visibility. Relevance is just paramount.
Okay, relevance. Got it. So how do we actually find these winning hashtags for our niche? Where do we start the research?
A great place to start is actually by looking at the top performers in your own field. Find creators whose reels consistently get good engagement.
Okay.
Then basically study them. What hashtags are they using often? Search those tags yourself, look at the top and recent posts, see what patterns emerge. Are there tags that seem linked to engagement spikes?
So become a bit of a hashtag detective for my niche.
Exactly. And don't forget Instagram's own search bar. It's free and powerful. Start typing keywords related to your reel, and it'll suggest related hashtags, often showing you how popular they are. Just remember to balance that reach with relevance. Don't just pick the biggest numbers.
Are there other tools, like beyond just using Instagram itself?
Yeah, definitely. There are third-party tools out there specifically for this. Things like Flick, Hashtagify, Inflect. They often give you much deeper analytics.
Like what?
Well, they can help find trending tags, maybe less obvious ones that are still super relevant, suggest related groups of tags. Some even track performance over time and help you know when to switch things up.
Switching things up. Rotating hashtags. You mentioned that earlier. So we shouldn't just find a good set and use it forever.
Definitely not. It's a really good practice to create maybe 3 to 5 different bundles of hashtags themed around your main content topics.
Content buckets, yeah.
Right. Then rotate through them, watch your analytics, which bundles get more reach, more engagement, and don't be afraid to swap out tags that aren't working, maybe monthly. Look at swapping some underperformers for fresh ones you've researched.
Okay.
Remember that food blogger example? They got a 40% engagement jump just by systematically rotating 3 different hashtag bundles depending on the recipe type.
40%. Okay, that's convincing. Rotation is key.
Yeah.
So we've done the research. We've got our relevant, mixed, potentially rotated hashtags. Where do we actually put them? Caption, first comment. Doesn't matter.
So you can put them in either the caption or the first comment right after you post.
Okay.
Technically, they both work for discoverability.
What?
But there's some thinking, some observation, that putting them right in the caption might help Instagram index the reel just a little bit faster.
Oh, okay. Faster indexing. So caption might be slightly better.
Potentially, yeah. It seems to be the generally recommended way now. Not a massive difference maybe, but possibly a slight edge. Now, quantity. Instagram lets you use up to 30, but like we said,
don't do it.
Pretty much. All the research, like that later.com analysis, points to quality over quantity. Using tons of tags, especially less relevant ones, can look spammy. That sweet spot, around 7 to 11 really relevant, carefully chosen tags, that seems to get much better reach, like 35% more than using 20+ silence. Focus on that strategic mix.
Quality over quantity. Makes total sense. And formatting. Any tricks there? Just type them out.
Keep it simple. The hash sign, then the word or words mashed together, no spaces, no punctuation.
Okay.
One tip for readability, especially with longer tags, is to capitalize the first letter of each word. Like hashtag social media tips instead of hashtag social media tips. It just looks cleaner and it's better for accessibility for screen readers.
That's a good point.
And yeah, you can use your own custom branded tags sometimes, but make sure you're still using those broader searchable tags too.
Okay, got the tags, know where to put them, how many, how to format. When's the best time to post the reel with these tags?
Timing is definitely important. You want to post when your audience is actually online and active.
Right.
Your Instagram Insights should show you this when your followers are scrolling most, or those third-party tools often have follower activity data too. Posting during those peak times gives your reel the best initial launchpad.
So hitting that peak activity window is crucial, and the hashtags need to be there right from the start. Like when I hit publish,
Yes, absolutely. Think of the hashtags as the initial instructions you give the algorithm. Here's what this reel is about. Adding them right away is vital. If you add them later, you might miss that critical first hour or so when the algorithm is really assessing your content's potential.
and that early engagement, likes, comments, shares, saves, that helps the hashtags work better too, right?
Totally. They work hand in hand. When people engage early, it signals to Instagram, hey, this is good stuff. That positive signal, combined with your relevant hashtags, helps push the reel out to a wider audience beyond just your followers. It amplifies the whole effect.
This is incredibly helpful. Let's try and boil this down into concrete steps.
Yeah.
What can listeners do, like today, to start building a better hashtag strategy?
Okay, great idea. Let's do a step by step.
Define your content buckets.
Yeah.
Think about your main themes. Is it tutorials, behind the scenes, humor, tips? Pick maybe 3 to 5 core categories for your reels.
Okay, buckets first.
Step 2, research hashtag lists for each bucket. For each theme, build that balanced list of 7-11 tags. Remember the mix. 2-3 broad high volume, 3-4 medium, 2-4 niche or local. And always check they're relevant and not banned.
Check for bands. Got it.
Step 3, organize and rotate. Save these lists somewhere, Easy Notes app, spreadsheet, whatever, and make a plan to rotate them. Don't use the same list every single time. Track how each bundle performs.
Keep it fresh.
Step 4, test, analyze, refine. Use your insights. See what's working. Which tags drive reach? Which drive engagement? Monthly, swap out underperformers. Try new trending tags if they fit. Be willing to experiment.
Don't just set and forget.
Exactly. Step 5, optimize placement and timing. Put the hashtags in the caption when you post. Aim for your audience's peak activity times. If you want them less visible, use line breaks to push them down.
Okay.
And step 6, embrace change. This isn't static. Social media, algorithms, trends, they all change. Stay curious, keep learning from your data, and adapt your strategy as you go.
Those are super practical steps. Thank you. Before we wrap this up, any final warnings? Common mistakes people make with hashtags.
Yeah, a few big ones to definitely avoid. First, like we just said, recycling the exact same hashtag list over and over. It can make your content look stale to the algorithm, maybe even spammy, and hurt your reach. Vary it up.
Okay, avoid repetition. What else?
Using off-topic or banned hashtags. We covered this, but it's worth repeating. Trying to trick the algorithm with irrelevant trending tags. Bad idea. There's credibility and visibility. Always, always check relevance and check for bans.
Right.
Another pitfall is that set it and forget it mentality. Hashtags need ongoing attention. What worked last month might not work now. And finally, ignoring your analytics. The data tells you what's working. Not looking at it is just flying blind, missing huge opportunities to get better results.
Those are definitely crucial things to avoid. Looking forward now. Any sneak peeks into the future of Reels, hashtags? Any trends emerging?
Well, one interesting thing is AI-assisted tagging. Instagram's getting smarter at suggesting tags based on what it sees and hears in your reel.
Oh, cool. So it does the work for you.
Sort of. It's a good starting point.
Yeah.
But smart creators will probably use those AI suggestions and combine them with their own research for the best mix. Don't rely on it completely.
Okay. Use AI as a helper, not a replacement. What else?
We'll likely see community and branded hashtags become even more important. As niche groups grow, using tags specific to that community or a brand campaign will be key for connection and long-term discovery within those circles. Also, watch for cross-platform trends. Hashtags popular on, say, TikTok often bleed over and get amplified reach on Reels too. But the big picture. The algorithm will always favor genuinely relevant, high-quality content paired with strategic hashtags. It's not about finding shortcuts or hacks. It's about strategy and quality.
That's a really solid perspective. So the big takeaway isn't some secret hashtag formula.
Nope, not at all. It's about the process. It's ongoing research, strategy tailored to your content, and adapting based on data. It's that thoughtful mix of broad, niche, informed choices and avoiding those common mistakes.
Right. So for everyone listening, the challenge is clear. Start defining those content buckets, do the research, build those lists, test them out, watch the analytics, and keep refining.
Absolutely. The platforms will keep changing, yeah, but a smart, data-driven hashtag strategy, that puts you in a much stronger position to connect with your audience and grow.
Definitely. And as you start doing this, as you start optimizing and hopefully seeing those views climb, maybe take a moment to think about this. Mastering hashtags, something that seems so simple on Instagram, it kind of reflects a bigger need, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The need for digital literacy, for understanding the deeper strategies behind the online tools we use every day. What other tools out there seem simple, but actually hold a lot more power if you dig deeper. Something to chew on. Thanks for diving deep with us today.